you. Extremely excited to have you guys here. Excited to have Mike with us as well. I got a couple announcements I'm going to go through real quickly, and then we're going to get right into the interview with Mike, let him share his story. Want to welcome all of you guys. We're actually in Las Vegas tonight. I've been here since, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, but want to welcome all of you guys that are here. A lot of you, this is probably your very first event that you're attending. We do these every Thursday night, 8 o'clock, even if we're not in Georgia or Kentucky, which is where we normally are. So if you're watching the replay, again, welcome. All of you guys, welcome. We had 2 10 Club members this week. I didn't add their pictures yet. I'll do that next week. Trying to remember who they were. I know Cecil was one. Oh, Tennessee was the other one. Anyway, we'll formally recognize them next week. For those of you that are coming to Vegas, I know we've got a few. Just a reminder: when you walk in, back left of the room, whatever that looks like, that's where we're going to congregate. We will not be attending the after party. We're having our own team meeting. We've got a couple things we want to do there, but mostly it's just meet and greet. We're going to start that at 8 o'clock. Those that can't attend, I hope you watch it online. There's going to be some announcements, and there's going to be some new things coming that only people that are here live or watching the actual video closed circuit can take advantage of. And those of you that are here, take lots of pictures. Here's the actual address. I can't read it, but hopefully you see it right here. 901 Greer Drive, I think, Las Vegas. But hopefully you've already got that in your notes if you're coming. But just in case, I wanted to make sure people had a place where they could see the address. The event that we're going to have for our team will be held at 8 o'clock Saturday. We don't know, at 8 o'clock Saturday evening Vegas time. We don't know if they're going to end at 5, at 6, at 4. We have no idea. So we're just going to meet at 8 o'clock. Here's the address. It's supposed to be about a mile from where the actual venue is for the event on Saturday. Yeah, just if you need to take a nap or eat or whatever you need to do prior to 8 o'clock, do that before you come. We want to give people hour or two, maybe just to unwind, relax, eat, do whatever you need to do. Tonight, if you're brand new, the corporate call is every Thursday night after our event at 9 p.m. Eastern. Here is the direct link to that call. If you don't have that, if you haven't registered, go ahead and write that down. I'll give you just a second to do that. It's https://ihub.training/live. That's tonight. I know Alan Knight is already here, probably a couple of other people. When the corporate call is over tonight, we're going to head to the sports book. I'm going to this Mexican restaurant. Don's probably going to go to the Italian one, but there's 3 or 4 different restaurants. Joe's Pizza, they're all together in the Westgate at the sports bar. So we'll be there tonight after the corporate call. Live stream tickets. If you've not got your ticket yet, go ahead and get that done tonight. It's ihub.events.com. Okay. So I think I covered everything I needed to. Mr. Clark and Cecil, again, congratulations. We'll formally recognize our new 10 Club members next week. All right. If y'all can hear me okay, just do like this just to make sure. Okay. Thank you. All right. What am I supposed to do now? Okay. I am beyond fired up tonight for you guys to hear the story of Mike. I'm anxious to hear the story of Mike. We've talked, I would say, 4 or 5 times on the phone. The first time he called me was when the hotspots were coming out, and that's the first time I met him over the phone. And we were talking, and I remember getting off the phone telling Don, man, I really like this guy. I said, he's got great communication, his background, I love his background. I think I think he's hungry. I think he wants to do something, and that was kind of it. Because I talked to a lot of people, and then it was a little while after that. I'm going to say a few weeks. This guy calls again, and I'm listening. And I'm talking, and oh yeah, I remember you, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and we got to talking. And I told him, I said, look, I promise you, I will never forget your name again, ever. And we had a really good conversation, and I got even more excited. And then we decided we were going to do like a little get together in Lexington, Kentucky. I was going to be there for the Kentucky Boys State Championship. Um, Mike, our Tony Shoup is in Kentucky, and I told Don, I said, we'll just tell people we're going to have a get together, and anybody that wants to come can come. And we ended up having Kevin came from Indiana. Uh, Bernadette came from Missouri. Kamala came in from Michigan. I mean, I thought it was going to be me, Don, and Tony, and uh, a couple of other people. And then Mike calls me and he said, my wife and I are thinking about coming in. I said, dude, it's only going to be about 3 hours. And he said, no, we want to come. We want to meet you. We want to meet some of the other people on the team. And Dan Bruning came up from Frankfurt, and it was like, okay, man. I mean, I'm just let you know. I mean, that's a pretty long flight from Minnesota to Lexington, Kentucky, and the Wildcats aren't even playing basketball. So I mean, I don't know what you're going to do, but they flew in, and we so enjoyed spending time with them, and I think everybody did. It was a great event. It was really good. And then when they announced, we got a little bit of an early announcement on the Ihub Meta program was coming, and I knew Mike's background, and so I wanted to get him in early on the Ihub Meta program where he could order a box or whatever, and he did, and he's just exploded his team. I am so thankful and excited that he and Aaron, his wife, are with us on this journey, and you guys are in for a treat. I know I'm in for a treat. So Mike, Culver, it's all yours, man. Tell us your story. Let people know where you are, where you come from, what's your adventure been up to this point.
I don't know how I can live up to that intro, Dale. Thank you. This is unbelievable. I've got some big shoes to fill after your last few podcasts. So thank you for having me on. I'm beyond. I'm speechless to be on here right now. I'm a pizza delivery guy right now, and it was kind of funny when that promo came out. That's me right now. My wife and I are from, we live in River Falls, Wisconsin. Erin is my wife, and we've got 4 kids, and we met down in Nashville 20 some years ago. I worked for a network marketing company right out of college. My first experience in college, I got invited to an opportunity meeting in an office selling water filters, and I ended up reaching the top level in the company in my first 8 days. And I made more money in my first 8 days as a 23-year-old kid than I made in a year in my life ever before. So I got the bug in network marketing, and ended up with less than 6 credits left to graduate college. I ended up, to the dismay of my parents, dropping out. And my younger brother and I packed up our bags. We were in Wisconsin, and we packed up our bags because someone several levels above us had an office in Cleveland, Ohio. And we drove unannounced to him and showed up and said, we're in your downline and we want to work with you. And he didn't know what to do with us. He's like, what do we do with these kids? So he told us to go open an office up in Dayton, Ohio. And my brother and I, in our early 20s, opened up an office and started running help wanted ads. This is before internet, really. And 8 times a week, we had to do opportunity presentations in network marketing. We rented a 1-bedroom apartment, and we had 2 air mattresses, an alarm clock, and a giant dry erase board. and that was it. We had no dishes, furniture, TV, nothing. And we just practiced doing our briefings, showing the plan, and ended up building a little bit of a sales team. In hindsight, hilarious, because we were young and naive and thought we were going to be having the 200-foot mega yacht within a couple of years. And ultimately, to cut a long story short, ultimately the gentleman that we sought out, he ultimately invited us to go to Nashville, Tennessee, and open up that market. And that's when my wife answered a help wanted ad and bought $5,000 worth of water filters. And so the rest of it is history. We that company shut down. Go ahead. Yes, it looks like you were going to say something.
No. I'm
all right. That company ended up going out of business and shutting down, and I ended up working in publishing for the Chicken Soup for the Soul authors. They wrote Chicken Soup for the Country Soul, and I was in charge of a new book that he had released, and that was a NASCAR racing book. And a Minnesota, Wisconsin boy learning about NASCAR was interesting. But that was the year that Dale Earnhardt Sr. died, and we were able to sell 150,000 units to Walmart right after, because the first story in the book was written by Dale Sr. And we got that book on the New York Times bestsellers list. And then a surprise happened. My girlfriend at the time and I found out we were expecting a baby. So we ended up trying to make some serious decisions on what to do. And we ended up getting married and relocating back up here in the Twin Cities. She's from Central Illinois. And I got into the mortgage business because I had a friend who was working in the mortgage industry. And so that was a good segue. I knew I had to, I couldn't count on someone writing bestseller books and having my income be determined on that. So I got into the mortgage business for a couple of years, got my younger brother again into it. And then we decided to start our own mortgage company. And we had a heck of a good run. And all of a sudden the mortgage implosion happened. And that's when I came across in a networking event, an organized barter exchange. And I ended up diving headfirst into that. And I learned about the industry. And it wasn't short after that that we found out the gentleman that was kind of teaching us about that was kind of a swindler. So we took all of our money and we decided to start our own. And we sought out a guy who'd been in the industry, ironically in Cleveland. And we said, what if we showed up at your doorstep and paid you? Would you be willing to teach us what you know? And he said yes. And we ended up creating our own digital currency before Bitcoin even existed. It was called a boomerang buck. And the United States government recognized our currency as legal tender, equal in value to the US dollar. So we had a great business going for quite some time there. And we decided to try and go really big and bring consumers in so they could actually convert our currency into a rewards system. So we got a board of directors and raised a bunch of capital. And our board of directors said that we needed to hire a CEO. So my brother and I just watched our equity stake in this company continue to dwindle. And we were paying a CEO. He actually is a vice president for another network marketing company, a big salary. And his job was to bring in more capital as we developed a mobile app and a digital payment system. This was we were a couple years ahead of our time, actually. And the money we weren't able to bring in the capital required to really get it going. And then COVID hit, and all of our clients, we had about 1,000 clients, and they all just, stopped operations. And so we had to have a come to Jesus moment, if you will, and make the hard decision to close our operation down. And we had put a lot of years and a lot of energy into that, and worked for the last year for no paycheck. And that's when I had to rely on I call it the 3 Ps, pizza delivery, delivering packages for UPS, and donating plasma to keep those kids fed. And I went back to school online to get my master's. I found out that I could test out of the rest of my credits, those 6 credits that I was short on because of my life experience. And I was able to test out a half of a master's degree. And I did a semester with Liberty University. And during that time, I realized, what do I really want? I'm in my late 40s. what do I want for the rest of my life? And I didn't want to go back. I'd been an entrepreneur my whole life. I didn't want to go back to starting at the bottom and working for somebody else. I really liked the lifestyle. And I made a list of everything that I wanted and everything that, more importantly, I didn't want out of my next move in my next chapter in life. And it really all boiled down to freedom. I just wanted freedom. I wanted to be free to play around at golf in the afternoon if I wanted to, and homeschool our kids. We pulled our kids from school during the COVID thing and we homeschooled them, and wanted to be free to be in charge and in control of our financial destiny, and not let the rug be pulled out, even just, downsizing from a corporation. Or, I mean, whoever would have thought COVID, something like that could have happened. So I actually decided, I kind of created a mantra of live free uncommonly, because I saw that everything on my list came down to freedom. And that's when my friend Brian, who's on this call, a good friend of mine, introduced me to another network marketing company. I'd sworn it off for 20 years. And it was a startup. And so I embraced the live free uncommonly mantra. And knowing nothing about network marketing anymore, I'd been out of the game for 20 plus years. My wife and I started listening to podcasts, and boy, are there a lot of gurus out there on the internet. And here we are talking about Pinterest. They're talking about TikTok. They're talking about Instagram. They're talking about blogging. And my wife and I are getting more and more confused the more podcasts we're listening to. And she forwarded me this podcast of some guy down south with a Southern accent that talks a little bit slower than we do up here. And I'm mowing the lawn listening to this guy, and he starts talking about wisdom of the ages. And he starts talking about developing people, and people will build. If you build people, people will build your business. And he started talking about personal development. And everything he said resonated with me. And I just whittled away all the other podcasts. And Mr. Calvert became my best friend. He was cleaning the pool with me. He was mowing the lawn with me. He was cleaning the house, repainting the living room. We got Dale Calvert on the podcast. And all of a sudden I was behind. I decided to start way back and listen all the way through. So I'm listening to these old podcasts, and then all of a sudden I hear this APL Go thing, and I'm like, well, I'm already kind of committed to this other thing, but I haven't really gotten it going. But I'm going to keep listening to Dale. And then all of a sudden one day he mentions a black box. And he just let it go. If there was a box you could plug into your wall and it could earn you $100 a month, is there any reason why you wouldn't want one? I think that's almost verbatim what you said, isn't it? And I'm like, what is he talking about? There's no such thing as a black box you can plug into your wall and earn $100 a month. So I listened to the next podcast, and I'm mowing the lawn, and every podcast he starts getting more and more in depth about Ihub. And finally, I got off the lawnmower, ran inside. I went to his link and I signed up, and I sent him an email and said, you don't know me, but I just ordered a box. And he said, well, maybe we should talk. And that's a longer story than I probably cared to share. But from that point, just been hitching my wagon onto Mr. Calvert's and engine, and gotten to know a lot of great people. I see a lot of them on this call right now, and I'll went all in. I decided I'm going to keep delivering pizzas right now at night so that I can earn crypto during the day and work towards a goal. And that's what we've been doing. You talk about that success or whatever in the promoting, Dale, and it's not me, it's my team. I mean, Brian introduced me. Brian and I were friends, and he's my sponsor in that other one that we were in. And so I ended up sponsoring him into this one. And then he referred a gentleman, Dave West, into the business, and Dave just took off running. And Dave referred several people, and all of those people. One of the things I decided was, before I even met Dale, this was my mantra from success books I'd read, is that, and it's the Zig Ziglar quote. If you help enough people get what they want, you're going to get what you want. And my whole life, I chased the dollar. And I was always chasing the dollar instead of chasing success and chasing other people's success and providing value for other people. And so when this helium and loop opportunity came along, I made the conscious decision that I was going to focus my energies on helping other people achieve their version of living free uncommonly, whatever it might be. And that's kind of been my focus. So
Oh, it's been obvious, Mike. I mean, because, a lot of the form that Mike came up with, and a lot of you guys are using that. It's been invaluable for our team. You're always on, sharing different ideas and tips in the Facebook group that's helped all of us. I know you got some more stuff coming for us, a video that we're all looking forward to receiving in the future from you. I think the main thing that I want to ask you, see, that drive, was it developed, or did you have that when you were a kid? I'm just curious because I don't know the answer, but I'm just curious.
I've always, this is a hard question to answer because I have to be honest.
Did the water filter company bring it out? I'm just curious what your answer would be. Because
Yeah. So I at an early age, I come from entrepreneurs. My dad owned a business. My grandfather owned a shoe store, and he took over from his father. I don't think on my dad's side of the family, I don't think anyone's ever had a job. I think they've always been entrepreneurs. But I was raised very much traditional: go to school, get the education, get the degree. My parents felt like failures when I dropped out. But at the same token, my parents really instilled this confidence in me that I could be an entrepreneur. And I always had that desire to own my own business. I remember my first idea was to sell defunct bowling balls to pig farmers because the pigs needed something to root around in the mud with. And I was in high school, and I ended up getting my hands on some wobbly bowling balls. And that was my idea. And everybody laughed, but everybody laughed, but encouraged me. And that kind of instilled the idea that, hey, there's opportunities out there, and keep my eyes open for them, and try to start businesses. But the water filter company, I learned a lot about personal development, and I had an overabundance of self-confidence, I think, where I thought I could do it and it would be easier than it really was. So the hard lesson I had to learn was, boy, oh boy, it's a personal development. And I just love when Dale talks about he wants to help or get 1,000 screens, or help 10 people become millionaires, not because of the money, but because of the person you need to become to be that. That's been a journey for me, and really resonates. The older I get now, the more and more clear it becomes to me that the Jim Rohn saying, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. And
absolutely.
And that's resonated with me. So my journey's been a lot harder than I thought it would be, but I'm very stubborn as well. So, I just keep going.
How do you think the next 3 years is going to look?
It's unbelievable. The metaverse is something that I'm a little bit keen to. I'm not a crypto guy. I don't really have any money right now to be able to play in the crypto game. So when I saw the opportunity to mine crypto and earn it, and you were focusing on that, I thought it was brilliant. My children and my wife is the only one who doesn't, but all 4 kids and I all have the virtual reality goggles, the Oculus, and we play games. We all pick a room in the house, and we get online, and we play paintball against each other, and we climb mountains together. My kids go to church in virtual reality. I was telling you, Dale, on the phone the other day, I have an office in virtual reality in a spaceship that orbits Earth, and I can have as many monitors as I want, and I can type away on my laptop and look down at Australia while I'm orbiting Earth in virtual reality. And I knew that the metaverse was going to create incredible opportunities. Anyone who hasn't seen the movie Ready Player One, go watch that movie. And
yes,
that is, whether we like it or not, it's coming. It's coming. And I think the next 3 years are going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. There's going to be minefields. We're going to have to watch out for the gotchas and the rug pulls. But I think that the helium hotspots, I'm still very, very bullish on those. I see the future of the IoT industry. My 20-year-old son in college is being taught about that. And the Loop players, in my experience with Loop, it's just, Loop alone, guys, is just unbelievable.
Yeah, you were saying if, we, even if we didn't pay the businesses, that it's still the best thing in the world for the business. When you walk in there, I mean, I've tried to tell people we're angels. We're walking in, we are angels. Now, some people don't want the blessing or aren't capable or aren't supposed to get it. I don't know what it is, but the reality is when you walk in that business, you have to understand it is a win for that business. Absolute win for that business. You want to speak to that? Because I know you've dealt with the digital signage and the things going across the bottom. You've gotten into the tech part of this, and you see the
Very
real
much.
value that we're providing businesses.
Yes, I made the conscious decision to dive in on all aspects of this and play with the loop player and practice with the digital signage. And I have to give credit to Mark Butler, who's on. I think he's on here for designing some marketing materials for us. But Dave and Brian and Gino and Rachel and Tammy, everybody works together on our team. And we're Dave, Brian, and I have been out installing almost every day. And we have learned a wealth of information. What we've done is I've got a secondary monitor that I hook up, and when we're installing multiple loop players, we activate them first before we install them on the TV, and then we're able to get them all installed the proper. I could go on a whole Zoom call about what we've learned there, and we maybe do that sometime. But
yeah, we're going to.
Yesterday we were at the Muddy Chicken. Yeah, we were at the Muddy Chicken yesterday. And Dave, Brian, and I running around like chickens with our heads cut off. And we sat down with the manager. Now, the chief operations guy said, put 5 of these boxes in. Even though they were approved for 10, he decided he only wanted 5 in. They've got like 35 TVs in there. So the manager, I had him pull out his laptop, and I sat next and I had him create the digital signage, and I gave him the tour of the opportunities to promote their products, their specials, their events, and his face lit up, and he got so excited, and he said, I want more. And we ended up installing all of them yesterday, or 8, I think 8 or 9 of them, instead of the 5 that his boss told him to do. Because every time we do this install and we're able to sit down with people and show them the value of engagement with their customers, it's unbelievable. My past experience was in loyalty and rewards, and I used to have to fight with small business owners. I'm like, every business that's successful has a loyalty and rewards platform. And why don't you? It's 7 to 10 times more expensive to get a new customer through the doors than it is to keep an existing customer coming back. Well, once you have that customer in your business, you need to talk to them. I mean, you can promote your happy hours, you can promote your bingo night, your karaoke night, your lunch specials. And it just is absolutely, the television is the most underutilized tool inside a restaurant right now. And it's costing these restaurants money if they're not communicating, or businesses, I should say, but restaurants primarily, money if they're not utilizing it and communicating with their customers. So we have to get it from here into our heart.
That's right.
And know it. And I have on my phone, every install we've done, we've gotten a referral. Every single one. We've had customers come up to us, say, I own a bar. Here's my card. What's this about? The manager yesterday gave us referrals of friends he knew that own businesses. And it's unbelievable. On the phone, I record customers staring at the screens. Instead of their faces in their phones, their faces are looking at Fail Army, and they're laughing at people falling off bicycles and downstairs. But at the whole time, the ticker tape is scrolling at the bottom, promoting 2-for-1 special, happy hour, half off apps. Join us for this event. It is just unbelievable, the feedback that we're getting. However, the hands-off business owners are the most frustrating to deal with, because a lot of times people get caught in set in their ways and they don't want to make a decision, and they're not used to change. So there is some hand-holding along the way there.
Mike, yeah. All right. Compared to everything that you've ever seen, and we'll put this in the network marketing box, but it's not, it doesn't belong there. This opportunity does not belong in the network marketing box. but from a upside income potential, you know, a lot of people have heard me talk about, and I've said this many times, for years, water filter company was one of the water filter companies was NSA. And people always said, Dale, when's something going to come around that's got NSA money? When's something going to come around that's got NSA money? I've heard that for 15, 20 years. As far as the financial upside potential for somebody that gets in this, plugs in, puts the time in, works through some fears, starts yanking on some doors, and just goes and does it, where do you see this going from a financial standpoint for people that are willing to put some time, energy, and focus into this program compared to anything else you've ever seen? What would you tell people?
Yeah.
What would you tell
I have
network
to-
marketers that think that they're going to get rich selling their vitamins?
I tell you, I would tell them exactly what Dale Calvert's been saying for the last several months. Why is it that successful business owners pivot and network marketers don't? If you're in a network marketing company, and I'm a big fan, I am a big fan of network marketing. It's near and dear to my heart. Even though I vowed I wouldn't do it again for 20 years, I always supported everybody that pitched me their opportunity. And Brian was one of them. I said, I'll buy the product from you. I'll support you. But if you're not getting involved in an opportunity where the public wants what you have, and if you're not getting involved in an opportunity where you have the upside potential of the growth you're on the right side of the growth curve. I made the decision to become a product user. I love the products of the other company. I'm just going to use the products and keep using them. But the opportunity that we have before us is like nothing I've ever seen in my life. Forget about the potential of the crypto going up in value. Just the comp plan alone that we have right now before us, there's potential for wealth in 12 months, right, like Dale talks about. Rachel, she's on a plane, or no, she's not on a plane right now, but she's heading to Vegas with us as well. In the last week, she signed up 70 screens. She's on fire, and this is unbelievable. I mean, to be able to do that in a matter of a couple weeks is absolutely incredible. And we have those angels and devils on our shoulders. All of us do. Well, we don't know the full comp plan yet. Well, we don't know if that crypto is going to hit a certain level or not yet. We don't know. At some point, you gotta go on faith and go, because a lot of people are sitting here criticizing or critiquing what we don't have, and instead of focusing on what we do have. And what we do have right now is an opportunity that I've never seen before in my life. And anyone can do this if they're willing to get outside their comfort zone and just go. And I mean, I don't know what else to say to that other than it's just exciting. It's life altering.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hear from everybody. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at Michael Penland. Michael Penland's talking about, and so many of you that have been around for a while and seen a lot of things. It's like, man, this is unbelievable. I can't sleep at night again, because there's nothing I have ever seen that comes close to what we're doing. Mike, I could talk to you all night. I want to let people ask you questions. I almost forgot. I haven't even looked at but let me get off of this and do what I'm supposed to do and let people raise their hands.
Before you do that,
okay,
please
sure.
Allow me to just say thank you. I mean, honestly, I know that coming up with content week after week and doing the podcasts and things that you've talked about in the past, there's people out there that are finding you and finding this team. Everybody on this team is amazing. And I mean, I honestly need to thank you from the bottom of my heart. My wife and I absolutely adore you, and you don't even really know us. And it's just I'm humbled and so grateful for everything that you're doing, Dale. And this team, unbelievable. I mean, the Facebook interactions, and I need to make sure I say thank you to my team as well. I mean, I'm very grateful, and there's nothing I'm doing. It's them. They're the ones that are doing it all. So I just want to, sorry to interrupt your flow.
No, I appreciate that. I sincerely do. And we're just getting started, guys. We're just getting started. Yeah, and Don and I were talking about this today at the pool. I said, if people, I know what it looks like. Like we're about 5,000 on this team now. I know what it looks like to go to 60,000. I've never seen at 5,000 the type of incomes that are already being created by people already. I mean, and I'm talking about $1,000, $1,200 a month changes lives. 500 a month extra passive changes lives. You know, and where this is going to go, I mean, I can't even think about it without getting chills because I see it, and I know this team's going to be the one to do it because we have the right people with the right focus. They understand the wisdom of the ages, concepts, and ideas. Y'all work fabulous together, supporting and helping and encouraging each other. And where this is going to go, I've got a little bit of a glimpse of it in the past, and it's history. We're making history.